Okay, so for our next story right over here, we are going to be going to Disney. And this week, Disney has suggested an idea that they are considering that is basically freaking people out. Like, there are so many people out there that are getting so excited about this. In fact, there are some that would demand this yesterday. And this actually came from directors Ron Clements and John Musker, whom may I say that this week, from the Art Directors Guild, they are receiving the 2018 William Cameron Menzies Award, so may I just say congratulations to those two. And I'm sure if you guys are listening to this, then you know very well who John Musker and Ron Clements are. These are the legendary directing duo that has brought us movies including The Great Mouse Detective, The Little Mermaid, Aladdin, Hercules, Treasure Planet, The Princess and the Frog, and just recently, Moana. Like, these guys are directing legends at Disney, and they are Disney legends in their own right. However, when being interviewed by the Huffington Post, they actually brought up an idea that could be quite interesting. That there could be a chance we would see this happen. Now, of course, they would talk about Moana and some of the innovations that they have done in terms of the animation and how they crafted Moana herself as a fully fleshed out a strong female protagonist. And then they would bring up the idea that maybe, just maybe, Disney could create their first ever LGBTQ plus princess. When John Musker and Ron Clements, when they would make their comments, reading from my source here in the Huffington Post, they would say that it seems like the possibilities are pretty open at this point. It would be driven by a director or a directorial team that really wanted to push that. And if Disney Animation's chief creative officer, John Lasseter, liked the idea, but I would say we haven't really had restrictions placed on what we have done. So basically what they're saying is that at Disney, they are pretty open to the idea of creating an animated feature that would star an LGBTQ plus princess. Now, the idea in general of having this princess from the LGBTQ community, like, this is not the first time. And in fact, there have been many people who have been demanding this for years. In fact, a while ago, there's been a petition out there where people really wanted to have Elsa from Frozen to be an LGBTQ person, and that maybe for the sequel in Frozen 2, that she would get a girlfriend. Like, that was the big petition that they wanted to have. And I remember that, if I could be very honest, I wasn't really for this idea, not because I'm against the LGBTQ plus community or anything like that. I'm definitely all for it. It's just that I just find that it would cause more harm than good to go and take an already popular and fully established Disney character and just make them a part of the LGBTQ plus community. You know, that would be like making either Mickey Mouse or Tinker Bell gay, you know, just to have that representative right over there. But honestly, I just feel like with Elsa's popularity at this point, it would just feel way too sudden, you know? It would just feel like it would be way too controversial, and it would cause more harm and damage Disney's reputation and even the image of the whole Frozen brand in general. So yeah, maybe it's not the best idea to do it with an already existing character. However, if they would do it by creating a brand new Disney princess, to go and create a whole new representative of the LGBTQ plus community that would also be among the Disney princesses, I would only have 3 words to say about that. Hell yeah, boy! I mean, seriously, that is definitely one of those things that feel like what took them so long. And honestly, I am definitely for this idea because right now, Disney actually is in that perfect position to go and create a story like this. Because there are two reasons, in fact, that I want to point out. Number one is actually how Disney is pretty much back to their glory days, or how they're back telling classic fairy tales. Now, we have recently seen movies such as Tangled, or Frozen, or even Moana, that still stick to that Disney formula, and some of them are based on a classic fairy tale and would be given a new spin to give that Disney treatment to them, and they have found massive success, and they would give us such amazing movies with them. Like I said, like with films like The Princess and the Frog, with Tangled, with Frozen, and with Moana. So they definitely are in a position where they could take a classic fairy tale and they can go and create an amazing animated feature with it. But it's not just that, however. The second reason why they're pretty much armed and ready to go ahead and do so very well is actually because Disney is now capable of tackling serious subject matter. And with that, I mean with Zootopia. They have proven to themselves that they can go in a very serious and adult subject matter, like putting in a commentary on discrimination and bigotry onto a family-friendly animated feature. And to go into a serious and controversial subject matter like the LGBTQ plus community, they would actually go and put that in there to go and, they could actually tell a great story with that commentary. That's basically the whole thing that I want to say. So with those two reasons, not only are they capable of crafting an LGBTQ plus princess, but they can make a great movie around that. However, there is one factor that I saw that John Musker and Ron Clements brought up, is that now Disney would just need to go and find a director or a directorial team that would be capable of doing this. Now, I know that there are some people that would say, oh, why not bring in Byron Howard to do this? Since that guy is actually gay himself, so he would be the perfect director to make a princess from the LGBTQ community. But I actually do have two people that in my mind would actually be perfect for this job, considering the amount of progressiveness that they added to Disney. I mean, since it is brought up by John Musker and Ron Clements, why not they direct it? I mean, seriously, think about it. When you think about their involvement with what they added to the Disney princesses, these are the guys who actually put in the not put in the most diversity, but they really did play a key factor and added in a lot of diversity among the Disney princesses. Keep in mind, these are the guys who are the first people, these are the first guys ever to add in the first Disney princess who is a person of color with Jasmine from Aladdin, and they were the ones who contributed to adding Tiana, the first African-American princess from The Princess and the Frog, to be a part of the Disney princess team. And then you got, why not this? I'm sure that these guys are capable enough to go and take a princess that would be a part of the LGBTQ plus community and to go and put them in a great Disney film. Because I think that would be the most important thing right over here. It's not just the fact to create, let's go and create an LGBTQ princess. That's not the big goal. It should be, let's make a great movie with an LGBTQ princess. Now, I am pretty certain that, of course, with stuff like this, there would be some consequences as well. It will spark some controversy no matter what, since sadly we do still live in an age where there are a lot of bigoted people who are against the LGBTQ plus community, that they would absolutely hate anything that would even have just a little drop of LGBTQ love right over there. Like, even if they just see the slightest hint of it, they would absolutely throw in a massive temper tantrum and make a complete rant about it online. Like, that will happen. But as long as the movie can be great, then it shouldn't be a problem, honestly. Like, those complaints and those little whining from idiotic bigots, like, that's just gonna be a wind in the breeze. It will just pass on, and people will just enjoy and love this movie. I mean, it's a little bit like what's happening as I'm recording this with Star Wars The Last Jedi. Yes, there are a lot of whiny fanboys that hate Star Wars The Last Jedi with a passion, but that's going to breeze away eventually, and people will remember The Last Jedi as an amazing addition to the Star Wars saga. And that could be the thing here as well. But yeah, overall, I will say that I am fully in support if Disney does create a new Disney princess that would be a part of the LGBTQ plus community. That would be a great idea, even though, as I'm recording this, it won't happen for a long time. Like, chances are, we would only be seeing this sometime in maybe the middle of the 2020 decade, who knows, but yeah, this idea, like, I'm fully forward with it. Let's see what happens with it.